In a quiet corner of the forest, Clara found solace in her little cabin. Surrounded by tall trees and the sweet sounds of birds, it was a place that felt like home. For many years, she had nurtured a deep love for nature, often spending her days exploring the woods and caring for the plants around her. Clara's cozy cabin was more than just shelter. It buzzed with laughter from children who came to learn and play. Clara had always dreamed of providing education to the kids in her community. She believed that knowledge was the key to unlocking bright futures, and she wanted to inspire every child with a love for learning. Each day, her cabin transformed into a classroom filled with art supplies, books, and cozy reading nooks. The children would gather around her, eager to hear stories and discover new things. Through simple lessons about nature, Clara introduced the children to the world outside their doorsteps. They would learn about animals, plants, and the importance of taking care of the environment. Clara cherished these moments and watched proudly as curiosity sparked in their eyes. Her passion wasn't just about teaching. It was about creating a safe space where the children could dream big. Clara envisioned a future where they could thrive together with knowledge as their guide. Little did she know that this dream would lead her on an unexpected journey when tragedy struck and everything changed. One sunny afternoon, as Clara was preparing for another day of teaching, a strange smell filled the air. At first, she thought it was just the scent of burning leaves, a common occurrence in the fall. However, as she stepped outside and looked around, her heart dropped. In the distance, thick smoke billowed toward the sky like dark clouds gathering for a storm. Panic surged through her. Clara hurried to gather the children who had arrived early for their lessons. Together, they watched in horror as flames began to lick at the edges of her beloved cabin. The fire spread quickly, fueled by dry wood and the gusty wind. Clara felt helpless as she held the children's hands tightly, tears streaming down her face. The laughter that once filled her cabin was replaced by crackling flames and the sounds of destruction. Each crackle felt like a piece of Clara's heart breaking as she watched everything she had built. The walls that sheltered her dreams and the classrooms full of memories disappear in an inferno. As firefighters worked tirelessly to control the blaze, Clara stood frozen in disbelief. How could something so beautiful turn into ashes so quickly? She felt a heavy weight of loss settle on her chest, not just for her home but for the hopes and dreams she had nurtured inside those walls. In that moment, it seemed as if her world had turned dark and empty, leaving only the charred remains of what once was. In the days following the fire, Clara felt lost and devastated. The weight of her loss pressed heavily on her heart, but she soon discovered that she was not alone. Word of the tragedy spread quickly through the small community, reaching friends and neighbors who had known Clara's warmth and generosity. One by one, they began to show up at Clara's side. At first, it was just a few familiar faces bringing comfort and hugs. But as the sun rose higher each day, more people gathered to help. They brought food, warm blankets, and words of encouragement. Clara could see the kindness in their eyes, and it slowly began to lift her spirits. Local families organized a fundraiser to support Clara's dream of rebuilding. Children made colorful drawings to sell at a bake sale, while adults baked cookies and pies, transforming a nearby hall into a bustling marketplace filled with laughter and chatter. The community's love poured in, reminding Clara that she still had a family beyond the walls of her cabin. As the fundraiser grew, Clara felt inspired by the outpouring of support. Each dollar raised was not just for her. It represented hope for the future. Friends shared ideas about creating a new learning space that would be even better than before. Together, they dreamed of a school where children could safely gather to learn and play, turning the ashes of her cabin into something beautiful and lasting. Clara realized that her dreams could rise again, stronger than ever, thanks to the community that stood beside her. As Clara sat amidst the charred remains of her cabin, she felt a spark of determination ignite within her. Instead of merely dreaming of rebuilding her former home, she envisioned something greater, a school that would serve as a beacon of hope for the children in her community. Clara wanted to create a place where learning thrived, filled with laughter and curiosity, far beyond what her cabin had been. With newfound clarity, she began to sketch out her ideas. Clara imagined bright classrooms with large windows that would let in natural light, gardens where students could learn about nature firsthand, and an open space for outdoor activities. Her heart raced at the thought of how much joy and knowledge this school could bring. Clara soon gathered community members to share her vision. She spoke passionately about creating a safe environment for children to explore their interests and develop their skills. The townspeople listened intently, their faces lighting up with excitement at the prospect of a new beginning. Ideas flowed freely as they brainstormed together, each person contributing to the dream that was forming from the ashes. As plans began to take shape, Clara felt her spirits lift. She realized that the devastation of losing her cabin was not the end. It was just the beginning of something beautiful. With every supportive word from her friends and neighbors, Clara grew more confident that she could turn her vision into reality. A school where dreams would flourish and children would grow. With her vision for the school taking shape, Clara started the important task of planning. She understood that creating a successful and welcoming learning environment would require more than just her ideas. She needed the support and expertise of her community. Clara reached out to local leaders, teachers, and parents, hoping to gather insights on what the children truly needed. In a lively meeting held at the community center, Clara welcomed everyone with a warm smile. She shared her vision for the school and encouraged others to contribute their ideas. As she spoke, the enthusiasm in the room was palpable. Everyone felt the spark of hope that Clara had ignited. Parents suggested features like a reading nook filled with books and comfortable seating, while teachers emphasized the importance of science labs and outdoor spaces for hands-on learning. Clara diligently took notes, incorporating each suggestion into her plans. She realized that this school would not just be hers. It would be a reflection of the entire community's dreams for their children. Following these discussions, she set out to gather resources. Clara contacted nearby businesses for donations, reaching out for supplies like art materials, books, and building materials. Along the way, she encountered challenges. Some businesses were hesitant at first, but Clara's passion and determination won them over as she painted a picture of a brighter future for their children. With each connection made and resource gathered, Clara felt more confident that they were truly building a school that would nurture young minds and hearts together. The day finally arrived when the community would come together to begin building the new school. Clara felt a flutter of excitement as she stood at the edge of the cleared land, envisioning the laughter and learning that would soon fill the space. Volunteers arrived early, armed with tools, paint, and a determination to see Clara's vision come to life. Carpenters from the town led the charge, measuring and cutting wood while sharing tips with eager learners. They worked side by side with parents and children, showing them how to use hammers and saws. With each nail driven into place, Clara felt her heart swell with gratitude for the outpouring of support. As walls began to rise, artists from the community set about painting bright murals on what would soon be classrooms. They painted trees, animals, and scenes from local folklore, bringing life and color to the building. Clara watched in awe as creativity flowed freely, transforming bare surfaces into vibrant spaces where children could dream. On weekends, families brought their lunches and turned construction days into playful gatherings. Laughter echoed as kids played games while adults worked, reinforcing bonds within the community. Each brick laid and each brushstroke added a layer of hope that solidified their commitment to creating a better future. As weeks passed, what had once been an empty lot transformed into a beautiful school. Clara felt a profound sense of accomplishment as she stepped back to admire the work of everyone's hands. This was not just a building. It was a testament to resilience, teamwork, and love for their children's future. A dream made real by the entire community coming together. As the construction of the school progressed, Clara encountered several unexpected challenges that tested her resolve. One rainy week, dark clouds rolled in, pouring down heavy rain that halted work on the site. Clara watched anxiously as muddy puddles formed where walls were meant to stand. Instead of letting the weather dampen her spirits, she gathered the volunteers for a brainstorming session under the shelter of a nearby tree. During the meeting, Clara encouraged everyone to share ideas on how to make up for lost time. They decided to use the rainy days to focus on planning and organizing supplies. Volunteers took turns reaching out to local businesses for donations of materials and even set up an online campaign to raise funds. Clara was amazed at how quickly they adapted to the obstacles. Another hurdle arose when it became clear that they were falling short of their budget due to rising material costs. Rather than give up, Clara organized community potlucks and bake sales to raise additional funds. Each event brought in not only money but also strengthened community bonds as families shared meals and stories, united by a common goal. Through these challenges, Clara learned that resilience wasn't just about facing difficulties alone. It was about rallying together as a community. With each obstacle overcome, she felt more empowered, knowing they were not just building a school, but also reinforcing the spirit of collaboration and determination that would inspire generations of children to come. The day of the grand opening finally arrived, and Clara's heart danced with excitement and anticipation. As she stood outside the newly built school, she took a deep breath and admired the colorful murals that adorned the walls, each telling a story of hope and community spirit. The path leading up to the entrance was lined with cheerful balloons and handmade signs welcoming families and friends, creating an atmosphere brimming with joy. The community gathered, buzzing with enthusiasm as children ran around, their laughter filling the air. Clara felt a mix of nerves and happiness. This was not just a building. It was a dream realized thanks to the support of everyone around her. She remembered the challenges they had faced and how far they had come together. Dressed in her favorite dress, Clara prepared to give a speech. She practiced her words, wanting to express her gratitude for the countless hours of hard work and dedication from her neighbors. As she stepped up to the podium, Clara looked at the eager faces surrounding her. Parents, children, and friends, each one carrying a piece of her vision. With a warm smile, she spoke about resilience, teamwork, and the importance of education. Tears of joy glistened in her eyes as she thanked everyone for believing in her dream. The moment felt surreal. It was as if the ashes of her past had transformed into something beautiful and meaningful. With the sound of applause echoing around her, Clara knew that this school would be a place where new dreams would flourish and where every child could learn, grow, and shine. The first day of school dawned bright and sunny, and Clara could hardly contain her excitement as she watched the children arrive, their faces beaming with joy. They rushed through the doors, eager to explore their new classrooms filled with colorful decorations and inviting learning materials. The air buzzed with laughter and chatter as friends reunited, their energy infectious. Clara greeted each child with a warm smile, kneeling down to make eye contact and share a few encouraging words. She noticed their wide eyes filled with wonder as they took in the bright murals on the walls, each one inspiring curiosity about nature and learning. To kick off the day, Clara gathered the children in a circle on the soft carpet, where they could feel comfortable sharing their thoughts. "Today is our very first adventure together," Clara exclaimed, her voice full of enthusiasm. "Let's start by sharing what we're most excited to learn this year." Hands shot up in the air as children called out their dreams. Some wanted to study animals, while others were eager to create art or explore science. Clara smiled at every response, feeling her heart swell with pride for each unique aspiration. As the day unfolded, Clara engaged the students in creative activities that blended learning with fun. They painted their dreams on canvas and planted seeds in small pots, symbolizing their growth throughout the year. With each laughter-filled moment, Clara felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. This was more than a school. It was a nurturing home where children could thrive and discover their passions together. As the months passed, Clara's school began to have a profound impact on the community. Children thrived in their new environment, their laughter echoing through the halls as they engaged in learning and exploration. Parents noted a remarkable change in their kids. They were more curious, excited to share what they had learned, and eager to attend school each day. Clara felt immense pride in witnessing this transformation. The school became a hub for the community, where families gathered for events, workshops, and celebrations. It was no longer just a place of learning. It was a center of hope and connection that brought people together. Clara often found herself reflecting on how far she had come since that tragic day when her cabin was lost to flames. With every lesson taught and every dream nurtured, Clara realized that she had turned her personal loss into something beautiful for others. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the support of her community, which had rallied behind her in times of need. The ashes of her past had indeed transformed into a beacon of light for future generations, signaling that even from tragedy, something extraordinary could emerge. As she watched children paint murals or learn math with laughter, Clara understood that her school symbolized resilience, not just for herself but for everyone involved. It was a reminder that hope could prevail over despair, and she felt inspired to continue nurturing young minds while fostering a spirit of collaborative growth within her beloved community.